What's up, fellas? It's time for Pick Central. We're live on the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube channel. I am Ben Mitz. I'm your host for, I think, a few minutes. We got Brandon, going to be a little bit of a late arrival. On my left, we got the dynamic duo. First, Marty. How are you today?
I'm good, man. I'm hot. I'm doing well. It's great.
Big F?
I'm red hot.
I like it.
In my last 2 months, I think I'm up over 30 units. I feel it's like I'm just trying to enjoy the ride. You never know how long it's going to last. I'm at a place in a gambler's mind where I'm just so confident. I almost like I'm not going to let myself get overconfident. I'm just smooth sailing. I'm just seeing things good right now.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I want to get into immediately the discussion from yesterday in the Bucks-Nets game because we talked about that a ton on the show. The obvious pick, y'all called it out exactly right. You said everybody, the public's going to just jump all over Milwaukee, lay in the floor with the Nets not having Kyrie. And y'all said y'all thought Kevin Durant could step up, fade the public, and y'all hit this thing
Mincy,
hard.
We sat here, we got laughed at. It was like, right, Big Eb, everyone's like, oh, what do you mean? Like, oh, what is Kevin Durant going to score, 70? I said, no, but he'll probably score around 40, and he will beat this team. And what did he do, Big Ev?
He scored 49, Marty.
49.
Did you notice it was fun? I was watching the end of the game. There was a point that they were just kind of fouling at the end, and he missed the first free throw, and he was so fucking mad that because he knew he wasn't going to get 50.
Yeah, he wanted the 50 burger.
He literally audibly said, fuck. You could see him like mouth it.
And the things I was getting on Twitter, I was like, oh, you weren't exactly right. You still have to get, who scored 20-something?
Jeff Green played unbelievable.
But that's
he played awesome.
Where I said, it's like, yeah, obviously he's not, like Kevin Durant's not going to score the 100 points, but like their cast around them is still NBA players. Jeff Green can go off for 25.
Because he had been out a little bit too, but because we were, and also going to toot our horn even more. We were here saying this before Harden was cleared.
Oh yeah,
we were saying
we were saying
this at noon before they were even talking about that Harden was going to play. Neither of us cared. We're like, regardless if Harden plays or not, we're good.
And like their cast around them is like they're good enough if Kevin Durant does that.
Kevin Durant's
I'm not saying he's going to score 50 all the time, but like he'll still get his 30 points.
He's different. I feel like that was one of those like if you forgot you better ask somebody moments.
Yeah.
Like 100%. I feel like everyone was just like hadn't seen, like Brandon was literally sitting here saying, I don't know if KD's the kind of guy that can carry a team. I'm like, if he can't carry a team, then no one can carry a team.
1,000%.
He's like without even a slight argument, a top 3 player in the league. You'd make a very strong argument he's the best player. I mean, we told you. Like, we told him. We tried to tell y'all.
I think there's one thing in sports that's like a fallacy gambling. It's like whenever a really big player is out, but if it's for like a game or two, the rest of the team will step up. But if it's for like 3, 4, 5 weeks, you catch them that second, third week is when they really feel it. Because I feel like there's like everybody will really step up if it's only 1 or 2 games and it's all backs against the wall and nobody believes in us. But if it's like a longer-term injury, you catch them out like the 3rd or 4th week, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, Harden was essentially a non-factor. I mean, he had 5 points.
Yeah.
He was like,
it was like he didn't play.
I think he was 1 for 10 from the field. But I mean, when Jeff Green's going 7 for 8 from 3, I mean, he was unconscious.
Yeah.
But that was what they needed from a secondary player to win this game. Once Harden was back playing, that line flipped so fast. It went from the Nets being +4 to I saw even on some books them being a slight favorite, like a pick'em game. I mean, I'm just ready. I want the Nets Suns finals.
Yeah, me
America needs that.
Yeah, and
that'll be a phenomenal series.
I mean, going back to Milwaukee,
they got to win. They still got to win.
Milwaukee could definitely push this.
They got to win still for sure.
What's going? Chris Paul's out.
So Chris Paul is in COVID protocol and he's out indefinitely, which makes me feel like it's kind of bad. But luckily for the Suns, they swept the Nuggets, and then this Jazz Clippers. So Kawhi Leonard's out. Now the Jazz are 7-point favorites tonight, going to Game 5. I mean, I think hopefully for the Suns, they got to hope this Jazz Clippers go 7 and he just gets some time. I mean, you got to hope that.
It sounds bad for Kawhi.
How bad does it sound?
It's kind of sounding like he's not going to play the rest of the series. It seems like they haven't ruled that out. But when they say indefinitely, I mean, I can't imagine that's like. If they had a times table, they would say it. You know what I mean?
What a war this season, and it makes sense coming off the bubble and the finals being later and the short off season, and then this year during the NBA there were more back-to-backs. this thing's been a war of attrition like nothing I've ever seen. I mean, it's just like who's surviving at this
I know
point.
there's nothing worse when the series is like decided by the big guy getting hurt. That's the worst.
Yeah, but like, look what happened to the Lakers, and now you see what's happening to the Nets, and now you see it with Kawhi. I mean, literally, this NBA year, it's like who's going to survive. I mean, literally, that's what it feels like.
And now the Jazz are going to win without Kawhi, and then I'm going to have to sit here and just keep watching the Jazz play.
Well, you may pound if it's Suns Jazz. I know you'll probably be all over Phoenix in that.
I'll be curious to see if the Jazz move on. I'll definitely be curious to see what the series price is. I would think it would be pretty close. I would think it would be not like I don't think either of them would.
The Jazz
be
would
over,
have home court, which is big.
I don't think the price would be for either of them over like minus 150.
Do y'all think Paul George, playoff P, could step up here and give them a chance? I mean, this is a tough spot in Utah on the road in game. This kind of feels like a spot that they are going to lose this one, have to win at home game 6, and just see what happens in game 7 is really what it feels like their path is.
I mean, as a devil's advocate, all the pressure's on the Jazz tonight.
I'm taking the Clippers tonight.
Utah's so obvious. The line's all the way up at 7 too.
I don't have either side of my card right now. I stayed away from the game. I might end up, if I do take it, it would be the Clippers with the points. All the pressure's on the Jazz now, because now this is like it becomes like a must win. Like you can't lose games at home when they don't have their best player.
And like they were down 2, they were up 2-0, lost 2 in a row, and now their best player's out. So it's like. It's a must-win. If they don't win this game,
they're
over.
Fucked.
Yeah.
So fucked.
Well, I'm curious to see what happens because it's one of those things where it's so obvious everybody's on Utah. Vegas making that thing 7. I mean, they're taxing it. So if you're on the Clippers side, you're definitely on the contrarian side. Also tonight, back in Philly, and we discussed this with Smitty yesterday. I mean, we'll get to our picks later, but feels like you would think there would be a big effort out of the Sixers tonight coming off that loss in theory.
I would think so. And not to mention, a big announcement this morning. Friend of the show, Mark in Philly.
Yes.
His girlfriend, who was 27-0 in Philadelphia sporting events, he broke the bank. He will be in Philadelphia tonight with his girlfriend. They will be at the game. Sixers were already on my card. I couldn't feel more confident.
27-0.
It's just such a bounce-back spot, too, after what happened in that Game 4. I mean, Smitty talked about it. He basically said he was taken every which way. I mean, if Philly's the team they're supposed to be, they should come out at home and they should whip some ass tonight.
They
a 2-2 series, you know.
If I'm Mark and Philly, like she's going by herself. I'm not spending that much. Like,
how much for the tickets?
I mean, they matter
they gotta be
what,
a few hundred.
It's got to be a lot.
A few hundred each.
And I would be like, hey, babe, you're going tonight. I can't afford myself, but I'll put you in the nosebleeds. You just got to sit there.
Talk about taking one for the team.
Yeah, I mean, 27-0.
Well, I mean, if she's going, he should just be like, I can bet so much on the game. You know, in theory,
yeah. Well,
he could just bet whatever the tickets would cost for both.
That's true.
If he knows she's going to win, right? In theory,
that's very true. That's a crazy stat. That was like Ohio State's dad going to the Indians games. Remember that?
Oh, that's right.
That was one of those deals.
I forgot. That was like old Office.
That was old really Office, yeah. Ago. He still work here?
He writes blogs.
Huh. Good for
Ohio State.
One bit of news that I have to mention that I got to say I'm happy about. The Stan Van Gundy era, one and done. I hope Zion gets to pick the next coach.
He should.
I know he's going to have his 3rd coach in 3 years. Look, I'm very worried that if this one isn't right, he may not even care about the extra money the Pels can give on this extension after 4 years.
No.
So I go to him. He might be 20 or 21 years old. I don't give a damn. Whoever he wants, you hire. That you have to. But Van Gundy, I thought my overall observation on this, I don't think Van Gundy and Griffin were in touch with the modern NBA last year because they had no clue about floor spacing with the roster. They were the worst 3-point defense I've seen. It was like they were playing by NBA philosophies 10 years ago, and they were outdated.
Yeah, I'd seen today they had a couple candidates.
I didn't see the candidate. I just saw I heard you say.
It was a
I'm just happy he's out there.
He should have been. Yeah, you can't
keep hiring these
Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd, that's who it was.
Okay. Well,
Jason Kidd and Theresa Weatherspoon are reportedly expected to be candidates. I don't know how that might just be like the opening off the hip kind of candidates. I mean, they see. Like,
I just want whoever Zion wants. Literally,
I'm a fan of Jason Kidd, like the person, the basketball player. I don't know how much I'm in love with him as the head coach of your basketball team.
I don't know either.
I'm
with you. I like him as a person and a player, but
I just don't like these retread. I like the young, innovative hires. Like Stan Van Gundy's been on 4 or 5 teams. We know what he can do. You know, like quit all these retreads. I'd rather even giving some of these players like what the Nets did, giving Nash a shot, whatever. You know, that's what Golden State did with Kerr kind of in a way. He came out of administration. Be forward thinking. The retread NBA hire thing is just, it's a nightmare. The same guys, it's like they just keep getting shot after shot when they're mediocre. It doesn't make sense.
A guy that I don't know how this is going to be received because he hasn't had like the craziest success in the league. I still kind of like David Fizdale.
He was good in Memphis.
Like I'm not saying he should be like the guy. That was just a name that came to my head.
No, it's not a terrible
he's
one.
like a younger guy. I feel like he just kind of was the coach of the Knicks, and like, I mean, look at the roster he was coaching.
Yeah, which
like it kind of like I think he kind of got a bad rep where.
And he was fine in Memphis, so
yeah,
it's
that's
like,
what I'm saying. Like I still kind of think he could have a successful future as a coach because I think he's someone who is like a younger like forward thinker like that. I think just his last job with the Knicks, the roster was just so bad. Like I don't know if Popovich could have won with that team. No one could have won with that roster.
Just make Vince Carter the coach.
Yeah, maybe someone like that.
Well, they got to do something. That much I know for sure. Because of the current situation.
Did you guys did you see that JJ Redick when he was in college? Some UNC fan had his number, and the UNC fan would call him all year, talk mad shit to him, and then UNC didn't make the tournament that year, and JJ Redick got fucked up and just called the UNC fan talking shit the entire time. He's like, I can't 100% confirm, but I definitely did this shit when I was a sophomore. That makes me like him 10 times more as like a villain.
I love that too because Redick took more crap than almost. I mean, he was not quite at the Christian Laettner level, but it was close. Maybe it was more. I don't know. Redick was. He took more crap at Duke.
Yeah, he was one. He was one of the best shooters ever in.
I mean, not even shooter, like scorer.
Yeah, scorer.
He was averaging like 30 a game that year. He was unbelievable.
Yeah, 100%. So it's.
Okay. Well, we have a Brandon Walker appearance joining us here on Pick Central.
Where we at?
We are talking. We kind of went through the NBA playoffs. We talked about the Nets.
We're talking about how right we were and how wrong you were about Kevin
So
Durant.
that's the one thing that has to be said. I came out here yesterday. I did not think Kevin Durant could do it by himself. I didn't know that he was that guy that could go out and do it, and I was fucking wrong.
Yeah.
That motherfucker came out and 49, 17, and 10. Like 49, whatever. I could have seen 49 all day long, but the fact that he had 17 and 10, he put the team on his back, and that was an iconic. I think he can now. I've always been kind of reticent to put him in the all-time list and to put him. I thought he was a great scorer and a great player, but something was holding him back. But if he's got that in him, I mean, you can now really start to cement him. That's iconic for his legacy.
Well, see, I think what you were sleeping on was like I totally understand like his time in Golden State, like the great team he had around him.
Because he never had to be that guy.
But he didn't, but he did. Like even with all those great players, like he was the closer.
Still
in the
the
big
alpha,
moments.
yeah.
Who was taking the last shot? It was him. It wasn't Curry. It wasn't Klay Thompson. It was him. Like he was the closer.
He's the best scorer in the NBA.
Like if you watch those finals games against the Cavs, like he was the one. Like 2 minutes left, he's got the ball in his hand. He's making big shots.
There's no question about that.
That
right?
1-3 hit last night was insane.
Unreal.
Insane.
But there's no question about he's the best pure scorer in the NBA.
Yeah, I think he's been that
all around
for a while too.
Yeah.
But I think he's so much more than that too.
Oh yeah,
like he's a sneaky good defender. You don't think he's as good a defender as he really is. He's a good defender.
I thought he did a good job on LeBron.
Yeah,
in
he's
the
a
finals.
good
Yeah,
defender.
So long.
And again, 10 assists just blows me away. I thought he's got this ragtag group around him, but when he's getting them involved, he's scoring 50 and making sure, and he's getting 10 other baskets. I mean,
Jeff Green, though, we would talk about him.
He was
unbelievable. What was he, 7 of 8?
I think he had 26.
Yeah, that's not sustainable. I think KD probably has another one of those in him. I don't know.
But that's also with Harden being.
Harden was.
But I don't think you're going to get anything from Harden.
He was 1 for 10 He was non-existent.
I think
he's
too hurt.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on how actually hurt he is. But I mean, he looked terrible.
I mean,
yesterday.
it's very possible KD's going to have to. I think they'll lose Game 6 in Milwaukee. It's very possible he's going to have to do that again.
I'm just hoping.
I think so.
If Harden has, how many games would he have to recover till Game 7? Like 4?
What games?
If they lose Game 6, I'm saying.
You mean how many days?
That's what I meant.
Not how many
days.
games.
I meant days.
Yeah, if he didn't, if Harden doesn't come out and play, I think Game 7 would be what Sunday.
Sunday.
Maybe?
That's what I was going to say. So like 4 days.
4 days. Yeah.
He wasn't himself. That was abundantly clear. He just was not.
1 for 10. I mean, just his presence helps. But again, if KD doesn't go off for and as everything that KD did yesterday, Giannis is just never going to be that guy, is he? Closing minute, he's just the turnovers.
You have to be able to shoot.
Yeah,
you have
it's
to
just,
be
he's
able
just
to
got
shoot.
this fatal flaw that gets exposed in the playoffs. It's weird, but like during the season, it's like it.
But when it comes to that big game, it's just like he's just not existent.
Then the ball in under 2 minutes crunch time, you can't put it in his hands. It's got to be in Chris Middleton's hands, and that's not a recipe for success. To win, you might win a bunch of games in the regular season. You might win the first round. You're not going to win NBA championships with the ball in Chris Middleton's hand in crunch time. I think he's a clutch player. Like he had a clutch shot even in the series against the Heat, but he's just not like that guy.
I apologize for being late. I appreciate you picking up the first 10 minutes for me.
Oh, good. I heard rumors. You had some good something you can talk about or no?
Well, no, I was just in token. I was doing token Father's Day episode with the girl dads in the office. But yeah, we did that. I got a little bone to pick with you.
Sure.
Your online simps are they're too much. There's too many people simping for Ben Mintz. I know that you're a nice guy, but guess what? We get to make fun of you sometimes.
I don't
we
care
get to
when people make fun of me.
No, yeah, we get to.
I take it. I think I take it pretty
You
good.
don't care, but I put out that after dinner walk video, which you knew
I thought
about.
it was hilarious.
Which you knew about yesterday. I put it out, and everybody's like, "Why are you being so mean to the nicest person in the company?" Oh, yeah. Shut the fuck up. We do this to each other.
Our fans
he knew the whole time.
Getting a little soft.
Our fans, they throw Milton tough at us, and they throw soft at us. Don't get upset on his behalf. He's big. He can take it.
No, look, I'm an easy. Look, I ask for every.
We're
bit
all
of it
easy
too.
targets.
No,
we all take it and give it.
But that's kind of true. Like when we are a little we get sensitive about something. It's like, oh, Milton Tough wouldn't have done that. And then if we make fun of somebody, it's like we're the worst person in the world.
I wasn't making fun of him either. The shtick is obvious. I have not cared about college baseball at all. My team's in Omaha, and now I'm acting like a late to the party cock. Who's just going to get to go to Omaha?
What Dave does with the Bruins.
Yeah.
It's like
he does it more talented way, but I'm trying. There you go, after dinner walk. The walk?
Hello, fellows, and welcome to
Hello, fellows.
Dinner Walk.
I liked it.
The Mississippi State Bulldogs went out to Starkville, that's where they're from, and they won a baseball game. And I got to looking around.
Jeff
They're
did
going
love
to
it.
Omaha, Nebraska, and that's where they're going to play in the College World Series. I looked around this godforsaken company, and I said, hey, nobody's giving college baseball their shine. Nobody's giving it its respect. It's one of the greatest games in the world. That's why me, Brandon Walker, on After Dinner Walk, will be hashtag going to game. It's a great game. I'm going to have live news from the Barstool Sports book. Bam, After Dinner Walk.
I'll be honest, I loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
I loved
It's
it.
just
And I feel
fun.
I thought it was great, and I'm honestly, I think it's.
But I got like DMs saying, "Oh, you're just jealous of Mintz. You're just what?"
that's a lot. They think that as well.
They think we're jealous of each other. We're working together.
Yeah, I don't
We do
get
this
it.
stuff together.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
I think that part of it is.
You've got an army of simps.
Well, I think you've set that up because the hatred from the Ole Miss fans towards you is so in their core and blood that's definitely what it is.
It's not just Ole Miss fans anymore. It's like Barstool fans. Oh, we've gone a couple of weeks without you having a coffee.
I know. I've been working on it.
I thought it was really fun. I thought it was really fun.
The joints have been helping.
Have you talked about Omaha yet?
No, I have not. We kind of opened with the NBA playoffs. Then we talked about Kawhi being out and Chris Paul has COVID now.
I mean, when did the NBA playoffs become The Walking Dead?
Yeah, I know,
it's a war of attrition. No, that's the story of this year because the season went long last year with the bubble, and then they had a short off season, and then the season they had more back-to-backs. It's a war of attrition.
And then some of these guys got the
Lakers,
Olympics coming up.
Clippers, Nets. I mean, it's literally like who can survive. Nuggets lost Murray.
Last night was a huge step towards the Nets surviving and winning this whole thing. They're still got some water to cross here with the Bucks. I don't think they can't put that series in their rear view at all. They still got a little bit of meat left on the bone, but I think if they get through the Bucks now, because that was the worst Harden we'll ever see. Every game we'll see, he'll be a little healthier, and then Kyrie. But Chris Paul, I believe, I don't know if they'll massage the COVID at all or whatever, but I don't know. We don't know if he's going to be out the full 10 days or not, right?
Well, the big thing, too, is this Game 5 tonight at Jazz Clippers. Kawhi's out, but this thing could end up going 7. I mean, it's 2-2, and so if this thing keeps getting extended.
I can't see it going 7 without Kawhi, though.
Yeah.
But that could.
I can see the Clippers maybe pulling out Game 6 at home.
But
still.
that would.
I don't think they can win a Utah.
That would absolutely. The Suns are absolutely rooting for 7 games right now.
Oh yeah,
they got to root for it bad. But like every day I wake up and I've got a new NBA champion.
Yeah, seriously.
You just have to check the papers and see who's alive.
I honestly think the Suns are getting a little too much hype.
I'm starting to think that too, but I'm one of the ones hyping them.
Because they're the funnest team.
Yeah.
Now it's
and they beat the Lakers. They beat the Lakers, which was
also things are kind of lining up for the Jazz. Kawhi getting hurt.
Kawhi thing.
I just think the Suns are the most complete team.
Yeah.
Like I just think they
defend well, they shoot well.
The way they're pieced together, I just think is so perfect when you have like they're built from like you got Chris Paul, Booker, you've got Ayton. Then you've got like Bridges, Crowder. Like
you got some snipers.
You've got like Cameron Payne. Like they just have like you get the spark plug guy. You've got your 3-and-D guy in Bridges, Crowder. Like I just think they're put together incredibly well.
I just think that I think they just matched up with the Nuggets obviously so well, and that showed people now that like that sweep that was so easy. Like that's what's getting people more excited. And I mean their next matchup I think their next matchup is easy as well, to be honest. In my opinion, I think they beat the Jazz or the Clippers like in 5 or 6. I really do. I think the Nets are just going to be a problem. I think that they're beating their best East team, or the second best, I guess, with the Bucks with fucking just Kevin Durant.
Oh, by the way, Big Evan Marty, I haven't told you yet, but I've kind of told you. You won't have to worry about Pick Central next week. We're going to be doing it from Omaha.
Yes.
So
Nebraska.
We're going to be doing it live out there somewhere. We haven't announced the place yet, but we are be me and Ben Mintz and a couple of other people in the Barstool universe.
It's exciting too. The Pick Central, we're going to be in Omaha, which is Central Time Zone, so it'll be from 10:55 to 11:55 Central, and the Omaha games are at like 2 and 7.
Yeah, so we'll have time.
And we're gonna. So I mean, that's gonna set up great for people to come hang out with.
You're gonna get so much pussy out there. You're growing the game.
I'm excited about that. I'm getting a lot of DMs in Omaha.
About the pussy.
That Omaha pussy.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm excited about everything.
Pussy?
You wouldn't. My DMs this week have been so funny. Because there's so many of these college baseball stands that like love that I exposed it, so they're just like, be tough. We know you got beats. Keep your head up. There's so many like motivations.
Do they understand that me doing this shit is also helping grow the game?
I think it's awesome. You're coming.
No, they don't.
Maybe they don't.
I'm not
get
taking college baseball from him. I'm joining him and I'm going with him.
I think it's the fact that Pick Central's gonna be out there. And look, I mean, it is what it is. Do I like your alma mater? No.
I don't like yours either.
No. But State's going to bring a freaking ton of passionate, diehard fans to Omaha. It's good. It's good for college baseball for sure that the State's there.
Yeah, so we'll have the Texas fan base there. They'll probably bring a good bit. I bet
Tennessee's going to bring so many. They hadn't made it since 2005.
Oh, Tennessee fan base, they're like cockroaches.
And
whenever
they have nothing to get excited about.
They're an
ever.
orange army that invades wherever they go. They travel better than any fan base in the world probably. Anytime there's a game with Tennessee near, it doesn't really matter what sport. The orange. It helps because they're orange and it stands out. You just see cars with orange all over the place. It's ridiculous.
The Tennessee and Texas, that orange bracket, that's who State's lined up in that bracket.
Yeah, we play Texas.
Mississippi State. Tennessee plays Virginia.
Yeah.
They're the afternoon game. Texas, Mississippi State Sunday night that should be super, super rowdy. The Saturday games are Stanford, NC State afternoon.
Stanford, NC State, yeah.
The Vandy, Arizona Saturday night.
Vandy, Arizona, yeah.
That'll be interesting with Kumar Rocker. Arizona's got the best offense in the country, so I'm real curious about that.
I think Vandy's going to win it.
What's their odds?
They're the lowest. I think it's like 250.
Yeah, something like that. 280.
I think Vandy's going to win it.
What's interesting is Vandy's very barely favored over Arizona with Rocker,
yeah, I know.
Which I thought looked real sketchy.
I know, but all Vandy really has are the 2 best pitchers in the game. But they have the 2 best pitchers in the game.
They got 3 good hitters. They got a leadoff guy that leads the nation.
Bradfield or something?
Yeah, he hits 380 with 47 steals. He's like Juan Pierre's clone. And they've got a right fielder named Isaiah Thomas. What a baseball name. And he's a monster.
Is
and
Isaiah Thomas the most used athlete name that's gotten famous? We've had, not this guy's famous, but we've now had multiple Isaiah Thomases.
Third one.
There's 2 Reggie Jacksons.
I feel like there's 2 Reggie
Jacksons. A lot of
Jacksons.
Steve Smiths. Some pretty good Steve Smiths.
Okay, this is a good side road
Steve
here.
Smith is a lot
because the Giants even had a good Steve Smith for a minute. That also happened to be a receiver.
Yeah, the USC.
Yeah, there was a great shooting guard back for the Hawks and the Heat, and then there was
Michigan State.
The receiver for the Panthers.
Oh, dude, the receiver for the Steve Smith for Carolina was a dog.
Man, what's the most?
I'm trying to think now.
One of the greatest cricketers on the planet, Steve Smith.
Of course, that's what I was talking about.
obviously.
Steve Smith might have just won it.
And you didn't even know there was a cricketer named Steve
No,
Smith.
I sure didn't.
Of course you.
Cricketer or cricketeer?
Cricketer.
Cricketer. I
Sir.
don't like. Well, just cricket player.
Or that.
Okay.
Yeah, it works.
Steve Smith, Isaiah Thomas. Yeah, go ahead and hit it.
All right. NASCAR is taking over Music City in Nashville this weekend with a return to the Nashville Superspeedway for the first time in a decade. Drivers are going to have to learn quick how to handle this track and find their giddy up so they don't get left in the dust. And the Barstool Sportsbook is offering exclusive bets for you to get in on all of the action and win big. A lot to bet on with NASCAR. Stay tuned for our picks later this week, and be sure to tune in to the Alley 400 at Nashville Superspeedway this Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on NBC Sports Network.
That's the Ally 400.
Man, what a sports weekend. I mean, for June, NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, Omaha, NASCAR, U.S. Open, and golf. Not too shabby.
Islanders got dummied last night.
Did they?
Yeah, that was
1-1. Yeah, it wasn't good.
last night. That was the Lightning last night. That was like
Brandon was on him laying there.
I still think the Islanders are going to win the series.
really.
The Lightning are a better team, but hell, the Bruins were a better team too.
But the Lightning are like a 5 times better team than the Bruins.
I don't know. I just think the Islanders got that. There's always that hockey
That
is the
thing.
one sport where a team just gets whatever it is, and the Islanders seem like they're the team that has it this year. Now I think Lightning and the Golden Knights far and away the best two teams.
I
left.
just sometimes with Barstool, I think I get too I think they have that thing because Frankie's telling me they have that thing.
Right, but remember a couple years ago, and the guy that doesn't work here anymore, but he had the rat and
Yeah.
but the Blues. I don't think the Blues were the best team that year,
The Blues were the worst team.
but there was just
in
something.
January.
There was just something about them, and now I think the Islanders with this Frankie thing. It just feels like it's real.
And that's what they need. They needed to go at least 1-1 in Tampa. Now they're going back to the Coliseum.
Yeah, they got what they wanted.
Yeah, and I mean, everyone was writing off the Avalanche as the winners of the Stanley Cup this year, and then they're just out.
I picked the Avs to win the cup.
Well,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people were saying like the winner of that Knights Avalanche series was going to win. So the Knights I would imagine are the favorite. Right now, at least.
Lightning.
I think the Lightning
Are they the favorite?
I think the Lightning are.
Yeah, they're defending champ. Yeah.
I think Lightning are, then it's the Knights, and then it's just a toss.
Oh, a bunch of Mike Williams.
Ooh,
Yeah, remember
Mike Williams probably
that was
is-
and a
What
bunch of
about Roy?
receivers.
What about Roy Williams?
There was a couple of
The
Roy
two
Williams.
Roy Williams. They were but the safety.
Mike
and
Williams is good.
There was a couple of Roy Williams. There was a time in Major League Baseball and fantasy when you played like 2000, 2002. There were 2 Jeff D'Amicos in baseball, and it was the weirdest thing ever. 2 pitchers named Jeff D'Amico. D'Amico's not obviously a very popular name. I love that. Two Brandon Walkers.
I had a kid in my high school with the same exact name as me. It was awful.
I went to high school with Baron Davis and Antoine Walker, both in my class.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was
That's
close to
nice.
both of them.
There's one name that's very infamous, and it's more coaching and stuff. But there were 2 Jerry Sandusky's because the Penn State one who got in all the trouble, but then the Baltimore play-by-play guy was
And
named.
what did the Penn State guy do? I don't remember that story.
Yeah, dude,
I went to school with
nothing to bear mentioning.
an Eddie Murphy, and he was just a redhead. That's just. I think that was just funny.
So I was trying to get a couple of Josh Johnson. Were there multiple Josh Johnson? Yeah, the quarterback and the pitcher, right?
Yep.
The Marlins pitcher.
Yeah, the Marlins pitcher.
Yeah, there was a quarterback who was hanging on with Tampa for a little bit.
Yeah, they had when they were collecting Joshes, they had all the Joshes.
Yeah, Josh
Johnson, Josh Freeman.
Yeah.
Remember when people thought Josh Freeman was going to be something?
That one year. He had
Yeah.
that one year he was really, really good.
Yeah.
And he just never found it
I feel
again.
like Tampa had a bunch of quarterbacks. Say, oh, it's like Sean King back in the day.
Yep.
This is going to be the guy, and then no, it's really
No.
not. It's just not.
Freeman was just he's 6'6".
He looked incredible.
He's athletic.
Yeah, he looked like you put quarterback on the field, it should look like that guy.
I remember the one game, it was the Giants played against him. The Vikings signed him like that week and plugged him in against the Giants. I think it was on like Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
He might have looked as worse as a quarterback has ever looked in
I
the
remember
NFL.
that too, yes.
We kicked the shit out of them. They just couldn't move the ball. But in his defense, pretty unfair to literally sign a guy who already is pretty mediocre at best.
Yeah.
Throw him in sign him on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Install the entire playbook and just put him on the field on Monday and see what happens.
Have you seen the video of Cam Newton versus Mac Jones?
No, I've seen.
Bad.
I saw a
Cam
video.
Newton bad.
I saw a video of
Mac
Cam.
Jones looks better.
Mac Jones looks 5 times better.
I saw a video of Cam missing a guy that was like 10 yards away by 30 yards.
Yeah, that was one. Also, Mac Jones with number 50, it just
Also, I mean,
looks gross.
when are we? I mean, Cam Newton's he's a bad quarterback.
He just might be bad.
He's not. Might be bad. He's a bad quarterback.
It's
He's had
just-
several years in a row now.
I know. It's just you just keep remembering that one. You know?
He's the. We remember the Heisman. We remember the MVP year, the
Yeah.
Super Bowl. But
That MVP year, he was so.
That's
good.
what I'm saying. Like
He
you,
was so
like
good.
when this is when you get these
Even
players.
his rookie year in the NFL, he
I
was
think
incredible.
me and Big Ev have said this. Like when you get these big name players, just a big name,
Yeah.
and he had that one year, it's like he might still have.
you will
it.
always.
You always
yeah.
think, even as a bettor, for like that 1 week, that he could just catch that lightning in a bottle again. Like it's in there deep down
Like if the
somewhere.
Knicks literally got Vince Carter, I'd be like, he might still have
Right.
it.
He's
And I know
43
he's
years old. Can't even
43,
dunk anymore.
But it's just like,
Somebody leaves you that lasting of a memory that you just
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like it's just almost nostalgia that he obviously has the talent somewhere.
Y'all want to get into the Win Total Wednesday stuff?
Yeah, I fucking forgot about that.
Yeah, Win Total
Did I
Wednesday.
bring my notebook in? Okay, good.
I'm excited about. Look, we got a great response. Ev, good job blogging it up last week. I know you're blogging the Win.
Appreciate it. I'll
the Win
blab
Let me recap Win Total Wednesday because I got everybody's win totals. I'm sorry, I did just cut you off there.
You're
I
good.
apologize.
No, I brought it up.
Please, nobody be mean to me online because I was just mean to him. Last week, Mincy had LSU over 8.5. Big Av had Nevada over 7
Seven and a half.
7.5. Rico had Ohio State over 11, which is the squarest pick that's ever been given away on this fucking show.
What do you have?
He had Ohio State over 11.
Oh,
That's
what
crazy.
what out on the limb?
I had 2, which I will have 2 as well today. I had Alabama under 11.5 and Georgia over 10.5. And those are the picks we got so far. Does everybody have one? Marty, you didn't have one last week because you weren't here. Do you have one this week?
I do. I'd like to go last though.
I realized I don't think anybody actually told you what this was.
Yeah, I got it. Big
Okay.
F gave me a little
I-
heads up.
This
before.
morning, I was like, "Yo, you got one?"
So why do you have 2?
I just had when I wrote them down, I wrote down like 25. I got to do 2 a week to be able to. But I got 2 today. Who wants to go first? All right, I'll go first.
Go ahead.
I'll go first. So I've got 2, one in the SEC, one in the Big Ten. Both are unders because I feel like I'm the only guy that gave. Well, I am the only guy that gave out an under last week. You guys are all positive.
We're all
and-
squares taking
yeah,
over. Something.
I'm taking 2 unders, and I will start in the Big Ten. Penn State under 9. Under 9. They were weird last year. It was a weird season. They started out 0-5, then they won the rest of their games. Sean Clifford came back at the end and gave them some hope. But they lost 5 starters off the defense, a defense that gave up the most points they had ever given up in a year. Their defense was trash last year. I don't see it getting all that much better. They're a couple years ago, they had so much talent. They had running backs for days. They just don't have it anymore. They got a decent running back. They got Sean Clifford back at quarterback. I'm not sure James Franklin is the guy. Penn State has at Wisconsin to open the season. They go at Wisconsin, at Ohio State, at Iowa. I think they lose all 3 of those. That gets you to 9. Now that means you have to sweep to go over. You got to sweep Michigan, Indiana, Auburn at home. I don't know if they're capable of doing it. Penn State under 9 is that pick. My second pick, Auburn under 7. New coach, shitty quarterback,
Tough schedule.
tough schedule, bad offense. Defense has lost a lot of NFL talent over the last couple of years.
Under's like actually like minus 150.
Penn State, Auburn goes at Penn State. They got at Penn State, at Arkansas, who would be better, at A&M, who is better than them, at LSU, who's better than them. Then they got home games that you think, oh, it's an advantage at home. No, Georgia and Alabama are going to beat them anywhere this year. That's like 6 or 7 losses I laid right there. Auburn under 7, new coach, shitty quarterback. They have to get rid of a shitty system. Gus Malzahn had the worst system in football. Going to take them more than a year. Auburn under 7, Penn State under 9. Ben Mintz.
Okay, I have 2 I was considering. First, I feel like I'm going to get heat for ripping off Brandon, but I am jumping in on the Bama under 11.5.
Okay.
And here's what they lost so much from that team, and they're coming off a team that was one of the most dominant of all time, and so. You know, you never want to make a lot of money going against Bama in New England. I know that's a thing that's been said forever.
All you need is 1.
No, but 1, and they have. I looked at so Miami and Atlanta on a fast track with Eric King and spread.
Yeah.
They're at Florida, at A&M, at Auburn, all brutally tough, could get tripped up in any of them. They have LSU and Ole Miss at home. I'm not saying Ole Miss is going to win that, but you never know.
Fine.
Yeah, they're going to.
No, you know.
They're going to get tripped.
No, they ain't.
No, especially after we fought them last year. But no, they're going to get tripped up one time in that spot. I just with those games.
So I
mean,
love.
all they have to do is lose one.
I love that, but I feel like I say that about Alabama all the time.
But here's the
They
They
thing, Marty.
lost so they had all.
Here's the thing, Marty. This whole run, they've got 6 national titles in the last 13 years. You know how many times they've gone undefeated? Twice.
Yeah.
Twice. They've lost one game and still won. They've lost one game a lot. Yeah.
And I mean, if they lose one, you win. It's not a push if they lose a game. You win.
Yeah.
And so the fact that it's the 11.5.
No, I don't hate it. It's just like I owe it. Like 4 games in, you're gonna like it's either like it's gonna happen or you're
Well,
like
they got their Miami week 1 and at Florida week 3, and I know Florida's rebuilding a little bit, but still, we'll find out a lot quick. Miami week 1's a little tricky.
It's tough to put money against Alabama to do something, but I mean, history says they're probably going to lose a game.
yeah.
So
I mean, the fact that at Auburn at A&M, the other one I was considering, I was looking hard at the Louisiana Tech because they've made bowl games like 7 years in a row, and their over-under is 4 this year. They're having some quarterback issues, but they're in a weak CUSA. They have at NC State, at Mississippi State, non-conference looked a little tougher, so I almost took over, but I decided to go with Bama. I might take that one next week.
Big F.
Brandon, I'm going outside of a conference.
Are you?
Independent.
Oh, you going to the Mormons?
No.
Incarnate Word.
One of I think probably the most slept on. Well, they technically aren't a G5 because, like I said, they're not in a conference.
Yeah.
I'm going Liberty.
Oh, yes, sir.
Over 9.
Ooh.
Over 9.
That Ole Miss one's going to be fun.
They have two Power 5 games. They play at Syracuse, who they dominated last year,
Yep.
and at Ole Miss. There was no more game. I keep wanting to say G5. They're basically a G5 team, but they're not. Whatever. There was no more game underdog team last year than Liberty. They beat
Virginia Tech.
They beat Virginia Tech. They beat North Carolina State. I believe
I think I barely lost that one.
they
Kansas
beat,
State.
but still they beat them. They're out here beating 3 ACC teams in one season.
They got the
Hugh
quarterback back, too.
And Malik Willis is back. I looked literally. So their starting running back is back, Josh Mack. They got a Utah transfer, TJ Green. Out of their 9 leading receivers, they lost one of them. He was their number 4 receiver. They bring back essentially the entire offense.
And Malik Willis is one of the best quarterbacks in the country.
A legitimate
And
dark horse
he
Heisman
transferred.
candidate.
Auburn chose Nix over him, too,
Yeah.
which is crazy looking back on it.
I mean, and Hugh Freeze, he just has them ready to go winning week out. I mean,
He's a terrible human being, great coach.
that's whatever you think about him, their game. That team is going to show up ready to play. I'd be shocked if they didn't give Ole Miss at least somewhat of a run for their money.
No, that game's November 6th. It's Ole Miss has right before it has LSU at home and at Auburn back to back in front of that Liberty.
Over. Over.
That Liberty Ole Miss
yeah.
game
Yeah.
just that game just reeks.
Ole Miss's defense is terrible anyway. Liberty can score. Ole Miss
And
will
also
score
another
60.
thing
be so-
slept on.
yeah.
Liberty had, I think, the 16th ranked defense in the country last year. They bring back pretty much their entire back 7. Their best defensive lineman, Darrell Johnson, had 8.5 sacks last year. He's back. This is a team that's 90% back. That was a really good football team last year. Give me the over 9. They have 3 games to play with for even a push. If they just beat Syracuse, I think they play in week like 3 or 4. If they beat Syracuse, I don't see how they don't get 9 wins.
Yeah.
I really don't.
No, I love that pick. It's a great pick.
Because even Ole Miss, even if you count that as a loss, they don't the only other really tough games they have at UAB, who's usually a decent G5 team. Other than that, they have all pretty winnable games. I think they should have blowouts in a lot of these other games. I love this pick.
I love it too.
Love
It's a
Liberty
good
over
pick.
9. Malik Willis is unbelievable.
Hello, Marty.
So again, I've only had about 17 minutes
fine.
to do this one. BYU under 6.5.
Really?
That is just because this is all I got for it. Everyone just remembers last year.
Zach Wilson. Yeah.
Zach Wilson's not there. Everyone's like, oh, they had some fight. 6.5 wins for them is a lot to me, so I'm going under.
I don't also have it in front of me, but I think their schedule's pretty brutal.
They had a cream puff war schedule last year, too.
Yeah, I think their schedule's a lot more brutal this year.
Credit to me.
So you're going. I think you're going anti-Baptist. I think Liberty's Baptist, and you're going anti-Mormon.
Liberty is definitely Baptist.
Yeah.
Liberty's like an offshoot of Baylor.
Anybody, you want to take Notre Dame, knock out all the religions?
I'm good on that.
Anti-Catholic. Is there a Jewish school that we could hate on? Does Yeshiva have a football team?
Tulane's pretty Jewish.
Are they?
Or, I mean, they have a lot. I mean, I'm not saying they have a lot
Really?
of they have a very big Jewish presence.
I thought they were.
A lot of New Jersey and New York people go to school down there.
I never knew that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's Win Total Wednesday. And then yesterday, Rico had who do you have?
Tulsa over 6.5.
At Tulsa over 6.5.
I can't believe his first pick was Ohio State.
It was ridiculous.
That's and it was his idea to do this.
Yes,
that's insane.
He was the first pick. He literally had the first pick of the entire country. He took Ohio State. That's over 11.
That's ridiculous.
It's not like 10.5. It's over 11. So he gets a push.
So technically, the only way they could actually like cash is run the table. I don't hate it, but
well, of course you don't hate it.
Yeah, you like it because of who he's talking about, but it's not a smart.
I don't think it's like if you look at their schedule. They're going to be minus like 400 at least in every game.
Yeah, no, but it's still dumb. Like if they like Mincy's makes sense. If they lose one, it's a winner. Like if you have to go undefeated to win your fucking over/under, it's crazy.
I do think it's a bet that's catered to a push. I mean, I can see Ohio State losing one. I can't see Ohio State losing two. So if you approach it like worst case scenario, I'm getting a push, then okay. But I don't put futures in hoping to get a push.
No,
put futures in hoping to get that bonus at the end of the year. Like I'm paying myself a Christmas bonus.
There's nothing better when you just forget about your future, but there's also nothing worse. Actually, no, with our book, it just cashes right away, I think, which is nice.
We give great odds, too. I got to say, the Barstool Sports book, odds on future bets are as good as I've seen, to be honest, especially odds to win championships and stuff. We're charging less juice than almost anybody. I think
our book is actually wildly good.
Yeah, we give the promos and stuff.
The promos is great, but like even like getting college baseball lines on there and like everything. There's literally cricket, cycling. There's everything on this damn thing.
One thing on the college baseball front too, I want to mention. So the Ameristar Council Bluffs, where we will be staying, Penn property, right across the bridge in Omaha. I believe it's like 5 to 8 minutes.
Please don't tell people I'm staying in Iowa.
Okay, well, I'm staying in Iowa.
You might,
but here's what we're doing. We're doing a promotion, which I think is funny. If you it's $25. If you place a $25 bet at that sports book, you get a Barstool and Omaha shirt. So even if you take one of my crappy college baseball picks, at least you'll get a shirt for it if you lose.
You need to have better picks this week.
You better watch out. You're gonna be with him, talking to him all day, and it's gonna be like, oh, he does know this lineup, and then he just shits on your chest.
And then also for fans coming out. But fans coming out to Omaha.
He never checks up.
Texas fans, Tennessee fans, whatever. If you want to bet on the College World Series, if you come out there, just shoot right across to Ameristar Council Bluff Sportsbook. You can bet it there, collect your money there. Perfect for the College World Series fans traveling.
Marty, I'm convinced you could get up and walk over there while he's talking, hit him in the face, and he would just.
He'll finish the promo.
Company man.
It's like, I just told him he's gonna shit on your chest. He's like, but if you come over to the fans,
listen to this.
Company man.
Why don't we do? I've been marinating on this. I think about Pick Central in my sleep. We're going to start moving the picks and the gambling talk to the front, to the beginning. I think that's better. I think that fits better. So let's do that. Let's do picks now.
Okay. Before we get into picks, we've got the blue light glasses that started it all. 5 years ago, Felix Gray realized our eyes weren't meant to look at screens all day and designed glasses to make daily screen time more comfortable and the workday more productive. Now more than ever, Americans are spending more time on computers, phones, tablets, gaming, and so many other sources of blue light. Felix Gray glasses are not like other blue light lenses. Felix Gray lenses filter 15 times more blue light that can make screen time tough on eyes and disruptive to sleep. Non-prescription and prescription available. Check them out now, felixgrayglasses.com/picks. Get yourself a glasses made for the 21st century and designed for modern, hardworking eyes. You have nothing to lose except maybe eye strain. Go to felixgrayglasses.com/picks for the best blue light glasses on the market. That's FELIXGRAY glasses.com/picks. Free shipping, free returns, free exchanges. FelixGrayGlasses.com/picks.
Remember yesterday when Rico tried to big time me and he told me that he's been to more states than I have, and I said, well, what's your number? And he said, I got to color him in. Mm-hmm. He colored him in, and
it doesn't look that many.
He was at 23. If you've been to 23 states, how can you definitively tell somebody you've been to more states? I've been to 25. I'm up 2 on him. And he says he's got 2 more coming. Well, guess what? I'm about to knock out Nebraska and Iowa. I'm going to 27 this week.
I would love to now. I think I might be up there now.
Well, you just knocked out the entire West Coast, right?
Does it count?
Yeah.
What would you say driving through counts?
The only thing that doesn't count, I don't think making a connection on a flight counts.
Yeah, airports don't
I think
count.
driving through counts.
Okay.
You do.
I think it counts.
I don't know.
You don't think it
feel
counts?
you
I don't know.
gotta,
I mean, I don't know if you
Do you have
just
to have
stop at a
a,
gas
do you have a,
station.
have to have a
I think you
meal
need,
there?
like, an
Spend a night there?
You need an
If you eat a meal at like a
experience
famous or not a famous, but
I don't
just
think
some
you need to
kind of
spend a night.
landmark.
I think it has to be some type of experience.
You have to perform an activity
Yeah.
that isn't driving.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that would I don't think that knocks any down for me, because I pretty much done things. Yeah, I've only driven from Mississippi to New York, and I've already had
I
those
haven't been
things.
to the middle.
I haven't been in the middle of much either. Although we just knocked out Michigan and Illinois,
Yeah, that
and,
helps.
and you just knocked out Indiana, right?
Yeah, that's knocked out Indiana.
So who's that guy?
Paul Ray was
that's
really-
this is the lacrosse guy.
He's really hot.
He's thick.
He's hot.
He's
Yeah.
thick-chested.
Yeah, it's a big boy.
He's like going on like he tweeted something about going on like a late night show. Like he's big time.
Really?
Yeah.
He's like the face of lacrosse, basically. He's basically like the only famous lacrosse
He's
person.
also he's the only reason why anyone would know what. We should tell him. Come on, we could bet on lacrosse.
I don't know.
I know nothing
I've got nothing to say to
I'll
him.
feel bad. Yeah.
Plus, he's way too
won
handsome.
It,
I get
UVA
nervous.
won in college is all I know. They beat Maryland in the championship. That's what I know about lacrosse.
Rico's never been to Mississippi.
He said he went to Memphis that one time when he was a kid.
That's not Mississippi.
It's just right on the yeah, it's on the border.
Rico's also probably had a bunch of ones where they didn't really count.
Yeah.
Well, because I feel like anyone who's from New York, you basically just have all the East Coast states. Because I feel like everyone at one point in your life with your family is driven to Florida.
I'm not
It's true.
gonna hate on this because I'm gonna do this coloring thing later. I'm gonna print out a map of
I
it.
think
I can't wait to do
I think
mine.
we all try and come with our states tomorrow.
We're gonna
mine's-
color it, but they
Yeah.
got to be colored.
Yeah.
Okay.
The combo of World Series of Poker and Widespread Panic, I've done both. So
I feel
many
like
times.
you probably passed
I think
out.
Yeah,
He's
Mitzi's
got
probably
about-
Mitzi will probably win.
He probably has about 37.
I don't know if it's
I'm
that
saying
many,
he's-
but I think
Because
it's
if you had to do an activity, I might only have like 14 maybe ish.
I'm around
Which isn't,
25 to 27.
Like
If you include really doing an activity, because then that takes away a lot of the East Coast for me. Because I haven't really like.
if Barstool
done
wasn't a
things in a lot of
thing,
these
I'd
states.
probably only have like 10.
oh no.
Oh, yeah, me
You're
too.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Maybe less because
Yeah,
it was
same.
mostly all I would go for is like baseball, like for fucking.
I would have
baseball.
just the Southeast and Texas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've knocked off at least like 5 or 6 states just from Barstool trips.
I would
easily.
say I would say more
Probably
than,
more.
more than half of mine. So, I mean, college football that knocked out several for me.
Yeah, I've the only.
That's the only
yeah,
reason I ever went to Wisconsin.
I went to Wisconsin one other time. Also, but also a Barstool video.
Milwaukee's great.
I went to California for a Barstool video. Michigan, Illinois.
I definitely would have
Wisconsin.
never gone to Mississippi if it wasn't for here.
You think Rico's been to Maine for real?
Maine?
I've
Yeah.
been to Maine. It's
Yeah,
horrible.
I've
It's a
actually
horrible
never
place.
been.
Summertime, Maine.
Maine's a
People
horrible
go
place.
up there in summer, right?
All right. It's just Rico's map looks weird because it just has nothing in the South and he's got Mississippi. I think he's fucking with me.
Well, he said he went to Memphis when he was a kid for that baseball, and so I think he's like claiming.
I don't
Memphis,
know. I
Mississippi.
just try not to trust Rico. I think that's a bad idea. I was going to show the picture, but there's clues in the background of other stuff, so I'm not going to show
If you
it.
just doxed Rico's phone number,
Right.
he would have killed you.
I continue to be the worst gambler on the show, and it's not really funny. It's not really good for the show either. I don't really care about the show. It's not good for me. I am getting into some kids' savings now at this point. Not that you should really worry about that. Everything's responsible. Rico's in first place. He's up 26 units all of a sudden.
He's on.
He hit.
He had a,
the
Had a good
fucking-
night, and then he had a parlay last
He
night.
had like a plus 600.
He
Yeah.
keeps hitting that runs part. Thing I made fun of, the runs parlay.
Yeah.
He said suck
Too
it
many
this
runs on a
morning.
Tuesday.
Yeah, too many runs on a Tuesday.
I'm riding this Oakland A's thing on these A's team total overs and stuff. They're just hitting every. I mean, I'm just like starting to bet them blind.
Let me see last night again. All right, so Mitzi went 4-1. Oh, so did Big F. So Mitzi, you go first, and Big F's right behind him.
I do want to say I don't like talking nicely about them, but the White Sox versus a lefty is crazy.
They're very.
They
yeah.
only scored. They won 3-0 last night.
I know, but
When
They
it's
won,
still
but-
crazy.
They're like, I think their record in the last whatever, they're legitimately like 35 and like 3. Like it's it's insane.
They lost.
It's like, how do you
to-
not bet it?
It's like Jordan Montgomery and Mike Minor have beaten them. As
Well, they're also
lefties.
just a very good team. Period.
They are, and like they
They're
even
incredible
have,
against
they-
lefties, but they're a very.
but
good
it's
team,
actually
period.
crazy to think like they've had a lot of guys out.
I think they can win the World Series.
Like
Yankees swept them.
Luis Roberts out last night. They had Moncada
Isn't
out.
that crazy?
You should be able to brag about that, but the
I
second
know.
you guys swept them, you just forgot how to play baseball.
can't believe
Yankees
it.
won last night. We beat the Blue Jays.
I was about to. I had a tweet written out that I will not watch the rest. I won't watch anymore because they were dead again last night, and then all of a sudden they started hitting.
Yeah,
so-
they were down 5-2.
Yeah, it's fucking brutal, but they won.
Mincy, what you got?
All right, we got Twins minus 132. This Oakland. It's 4.5 every day on these Oakland overs, and I mean I feel like I've lost like one of them. I feel like I'm 10-1 on them. I've got the Philadelphia 76ers minus 6.5. Cincinnati, Milwaukee under 3.5 first 5 because the pitching matchup. It's plus 112. U.S. Open. I got 3 long shot flyers with U.S. Open. Torrey Pines, very long course. Got to go with the younger long hitters. John Rahm is the chalk. I don't like taking the heavy favorites in golf. I've just got 3 flyers. I've got Cameron Smith 55-1, Sam Burns representing the 3-1 great at 100-1.
The what?
The 318 North Louisiana area code. And then I've got Matthew Wolff 200-1 on just long shot flyers for the U.S. Open, and that's what I got today.
Do me a favor.
Never say 3-1 great again.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, that's absolutely right. You nailed it.
I have a question. The U.S. Open, those picks, we're just assuming those are 1 unit each. And
those are 1 unit each, just like long shot flyers. Although it is weird though. Do those grade like if I hit 100-1? I mean, can I be plus 100?
Yeah,
isn't that separate? Should that be separate?
That's what I'm asking.
I feel like it's either you pick one person or it's none of them count for your.
I'm picking one person.
Because one person's picks as well. One person, I think, because Rico does like 8, and it's like.
Should we almost make futures like a different category or something?
We have this discussion way too much.
Fair enough.
I remember I hit Georgia Tech to win the ACC, and I very humbly and very, very much.
Well, it was humble until you just said it like that.
I was going to use the word integrity, and I couldn't figure out how to say it correctly in that sentence.
You were going to say integral or something?
Yep.
Yeah. But no, you're right. You almost hit 2 that week. I remember that.
I did.
Texas was the other one?
No, because they lost early.
I thought you almost hit 2.
There was another one in there somewhere.
I'm looking up the odds for it. I want to add Xander Schauffele to top 5 because he's so consistent. He always top 5s. I don't like taking him to win because he doesn't win, but he's a California guy. Whatever he is, the top 5, I want it. I'm looking it up as we speak.
So I forget who am I. You know what? I'm going to pour one out for my boy, Colby. Oh, I haven't given my card yet, but I'm going to take Tony Fee now.
Love that.
I'm going to take Tony Fee now because that's my boy. Big Ev, have you gone yet?
No.
Go get it.
Now.
Get it.
Early game, I got the Marlins money line, Sandy Alcantara on the mound. White Sox facing lefty again.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what I'm doing? I'm taking the White Sox money line.
How many fucking lefties are in the league?
I'm also taking the over because Yarbrough is pitching for the Rays. I think the over is hitting every single one of his starts, or every single one besides one. So give me the over 7.5. I'm on the A's money line. They've been hot. I'm on the Giants minus 1.5, and I'm on the Sixers tonight. I was already on it before Mark and Philly. Now I love it even more. The Sixers win big tonight.
All right, I'm already. You go next.
All right. My picks are I'm adding the Giants minus 1.5 to mine because the Arizona Diamondbacks have lost 21 in a row.
On the road, yeah.
And last night they were up 7-0 and they lost on the Grand Slam.
They were also up 3 in the 8th when they gave up the Grand Slam.
Yes, exactly. So I'm going with Sixers. I think it's 6.5 now. Clippers plus 2.5.
It's plus 7 right now, man.
It's not the Suns. See this, TJ, respect the women, please. It's the Phoenix fucking Mercury.
Mm-hmm.
They're minus 5.5 tonight.
Oh,
That's so misogynistic, TJ. Did you send Phoenix to him?
I sent Phoenix.
Unbelievable,
so you should
TJ.
at least ask,
That is
or look.
not my fault.
I guess
I think it is.
I guess you're saying they should be in the kitchen. Is that what you're saying, TJ?
What the fuck?
That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying.
Oh, I'm so happy you wrote Suns. I was waiting for that.
Why would you do that?
Me.
I baited you, because I wanted to show.
You should know. He said Phoenix.
I
That's
look
the
at
name.
quality, and
He
then
said
you look.
Sixers, Clippers,
you gotta look
Phoenix,
at-
Cardinals, Yankees.
Yeah, you got to look both.
He
tonight.
views both Phoenix Suns both Phoenix teams as equal. That's
Yeah.
what he views. You just say
Damn,
Suns.
This is a sad day.
This is a setup.
This is a sad day.
Unbelievable.
And I got the Cardinals.
Marty, I'm sorry you had to go through that.
I know.
I mean, you have a mother. You have
I know. I feel like he has a mother too.
TJ.
I do.
And I got the Cardinals, and I got the Yankees minus 1.5.
I've got Sixers minus 6.5. Smitty said it best yesterday. I think Sixers are just going to smash them. I Sixers minus 6.5 and Sixers first half. I think they're going to get right tonight, especially Embiid. I think Embiid comes out on a mission. He's not going to do what Durant did last night, but I think it's going to be kind of like what Durant did last night. He's going to dominate the game. He's going to take over the game. So I like those. I like Golden Knights minus 1.5 tonight. They're just the better team. I have the Jazz minus 3.5. because I think that was locked in. It's got to be higher now, right? I don't know what the odds are
It's up
now.
to almost 7.
Yeah, it was 3.5 at 10 a.m. when I sent this. Actually, when did I send this to you, TJ? Like 8:30. So I had Jazz 3.5 then. If you want to change it to what it is now, I'm fine. I believe in it. And then I have my Aces High bet on the Barstool Sportsbook app. When you need a win like I do, you go to the best pitchers in baseball tonight. You got Garrett Cole for the Yankees, Clayton Kershaw for the Dodgers, DeGrom for the Mets. Moneyline parlay on the Barstool Sportsbook app. It's boosted. I don't exactly know what the odds are right now, but it's going to be boosted. You got Cole, Kershaw, DeGrom, moneyline parlay on all 3 of those. That is my Aces High bet.
We have like 5 minutes, and we haven't talked about. Have you guys seen all this shit going on in the MLB with the pitchers and shit?
Yeah, with all the first of all, Glasnow saying he's blaming them for his injury.
They essentially outlawed sunscreen, Brandon.
No sunscreen, and like, did you see what? I hate him so much, but you see what Trevor Bauer did? The video of he did a rosin bag and sweat, and the ball was just sticking to his hand, so he could just do that still. Like he would go like this, and it would just stick to his hand like this. If you could look up Trevor Bauer on Twitter and show them, it's like crazy. But they're all saying that they're gonna get hurt.
Yeah, so sunscreen's keeping them from getting hurt, or sunscreen and rosin is keeping them from getting hurt.
I don't really understand.
I don't understand it either.
What everything's going, because then everyone. But the worst part is that now everyone's saying that everyone cheats, and it's so annoying with baseball now.
Well, I mean, baseball has been a game built on cheating for many
sure.
decades and centuries. So
don't cheat.
Everybody.
All right, Twitter, let's play a fun little game. Is this legal or is this illegal?
That's crazy.
What is that?
Let's try it again. Here it is. I squeeze the ball.
What?
That's nuts.
He's got a big ass hand.
Is that legal or illegal? Vote below.
What? Almost. So it.
And then he says like it's Rosalind sweat.
Why did so many people vote that it was legal? Because he's trying to get you to vote that it's illegal. Why did so many people vote that it was illegal or that it was legal? That's ridiculous.
I know, but it's wild what's going on in the MLB right now.
It is crazy, and
It's a witch hunt.
Yeah, but
to some degree.
You know what it is? It's just lack of leadership from the top. It's lack of leadership. Now you don't know where it's coming. You got guys. They've been so inconsistent in punishment for so long. The Astros got off scot-free, and the players had to step in, and they had to. So if I had to step in and I had to punish the Astros, why shouldn't I think I should be able to get away with whatever I can do on the mound? And now you're stepping in and saying I got to get suspended 10 days for sunscreen. The leadership in baseball is garbage. Has been garbage for a very long time, and none of the players. None of the fleas know what the dog is doing. They have no idea when the scratch is coming. So, every problem with baseball as far as rules enforcement comes from the very top.
And I do like that they speak up. I do.
Yeah, I like that too.
Oh, ACL
oh dear
injury.
Lord. So that's
gosh, man.
So the Clippers are done.
Complete war of attrition this year, man.
I'm telling you, guys. I know this doesn't help my point that they're good, but things are. If you're a Utah Jazz fan. Doesn't it seem like the sea is parting for you?
Yeah.
It seems like you got Chris Paul now. You have Kawhi. You're in a dogfight with the Clippers.
End of the home court.
You get to come home tonight and play a team led by Paul George, which he's fine. But no, I think the Jazz are lined up perfectly.
So it hasn't been confirmed. I know he's in the protocol. It hasn't been confirmed that he has COVID.
Jalen Rose also said he was vaccinated.
So yeah, and I think there was some talk that if you're vaccinated and you get COVID, you have a less of a window that you have to sit out.
Yes.
So we don't really know what's going to happen with Chris Paul yet.
Because that series wouldn't start till at least probably next week.
Yeah, I would say
if they're guaranteed to play tonight and at least one more game.
Friday, yeah, at least Friday, and then they would start maybe Sunday or Tuesday, perhaps something like that.
So it'd be
I don't know. Chris Paul. If Chris Paul's not out, the Suns are the favorite in the West now, and obviously if Chris Paul's out, the Jazz are the favorite. That sucks for Kawhi though.
Sucks for Kawhi
because he was about to potentially be a free agent. Like if that's a really bad ACL, people are still going to pay for Kawhi. The Nets paid for KD and set him on the bench for
Knicks fan. I'd take him in a heartbeat.
Yeah, of course you would. That's
Anyone
crazy.
Would, yeah. It just sucks when I want to see him healthy right now, fucking playing tonight. I needed that. I already took the Clippers.
That's what, yeah, right. Why didn't you just leave with that?
I still like the Clippers, though. I still like them with them out. All the pressure's on the Jazz.
You're getting 7 now, too.
Yeah.
So you're out tomorrow? You're leaving already?
Yeah, I'm leaving.
I'm out tomorrow, too.
Friday is so Friday is like a huge opening day celebration around Omaha. So I'm going to be getting out around, checking out the people, taking it to the people, man.
So I don't know when I don't know if I'm coming Saturday or Sunday, but I'm coming. And then our other guest from Barstool University is coming Monday. And maybe we'll have one more guest. I don't know. We'll talk about that this afternoon. What else we got?
I'm pumped about Omaha, that's for sure. Other stuff that we gave out our U.S. Open. I mean,
I didn't give out Finale plus 2,200.
Do they have bars in Omaha?
Oh yeah, I think they got a good.
And
bar
everything's
scene.
downtown, like the stadium's downtown. Everything's
Bunch of
around
steakhouses.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Omaha Steaks, baby.
I think he's trying to.
Well, one of my buddies is playing a show Sunday night. It's gonna get real wild.
Of
It's
course
post
it is.
Texas Mississippi State.
You want to invite him?
Andy Fresco.
You want to invite him?
Throwdown, baby. Barstool people, come on. We're gonna throw down Sunday night.
Invite Marty.
Of course, I want Marty to come. Look, Marty came. I had the most fun college baseball experience I've had in forever. Marty got
My
to see
team's gonna, even though
eight-run comeback.
I would have to pick a team though.
Take Vandy.
Can't be Vandy. Can't be Stanford. Too smart.
I hate Virginia, but
Can't
that kid DM'd me yesterday. He
think
keeps
you
going viral.
You can ride with Texas.
Texas pretty good. I'll go with Texas.
Did you see the
I
Texas
don't know,
fan
though.
running on the
Casey
field?
might disown. I don't know.
True.
Yeah, you may get disowned by Casey.
That's fine.
That's a bonus. All right, there's the music. The Yak is up next. Thank you for hosting the first 10 minutes of the show. We'll be back tomorrow. That's Pick Central.